Not the result we wanted, but a good performance in the end, I felt.
Yeah, obviously you want to win games of football, and I think the first thing for us was putting a performance in. I think the last 4 games, we've probably not done that. I mean, before that, we've sat and been solid and ground out games, but I think when you've played the way we've played the last 4 games and you've sat in and then you've not ground out the games, it's pretty dire to watch. So it was important for us to come here today and be entertaining, get on the front foot, press, get on the ball, and it enabled us to do that with the players we had back.
It was really good to bounce back with a good performance, even though the result didn't quite go the right way.
Yeah, I just thought the last 4 or so games we've looked a bit lethargic. Obviously bringing James in from Salford. Obviously we saw the lad from Cov today coming off the bench, and obviously Aaron went up top, and then we had Kane back as well, and Jack Evans. It just gave us those fresh legs that we probably needed. It gave us an opportunity to rest a few players that probably needed a rest, just to give us those energy levels back that we're, people know how we play, they know we're on the front foot, they know we like getting our fullbacks forward, we like to get in people's faces, and unfortunately not having those bodies in is not enabled us to do that. So it was nice today to get back to being us.
We had the players back down the wing, so Jack Evans was back and the new lad back in as well, so gave us that wide expansive.
Yeah, I just think it just give us, I think over the last couple of weeks where we've not had them, we've kind of left it to our wide men to do everything. And when you have 2 expansive fullbacks, then you get up and down, it means your wide men can roll in, or, I mean, look at Jack's goal. He's rolled inside into midfield, our wide player's gone wide and he's got a finish from it. So it enables us to be a bit more fluid, in possession, but also out of possession. They're straight on the front foot. Jack and James today were on the front foot, kind of pressing their wingers, getting the balls back, stopping crosses really well. And it enabled us also to squeeze the line and just squeeze the pitch. Because I just think lately, where we've not had those fullbacks, we've probably sat in a little bit too deep, which has not enabled our midfielders to latch on to their midfielders and then their centre halves to go and put real pressure on it. So giving that in, bringing them back in, it's just enabled us to get on the pitch a little bit more and just play, really aggressive, style of football.
We came out in the second half and looked really positive and looked like something was going to happen just before they sort of...
Yeah, it's a bit of a sucker punch. I watched the goal back. He gets in, ball in the channel, which he shouldn't really get, and then he gets the cross in. And, we stop, and I think that's why he scored the second, and then again the first one, just before half time. We took too long on the ball in midfield. It's like Beckham-esque, isn't it? He's had that shot at the bar, he's come back, he's gone back to Dale, he's shanked his clearance, and then ended up scoring from it just before half time. So you kind of gutted, but credit to the lads, we're coming at half time and they were ready to go again and come out and give it a right go, and we pushed right to the end, and it's just unfortunate we couldn't get that equalising goal. I think we deserved at least a point.
Because it was definitely backs against the wall for Darlington at the end. Pushed all the way through up to the 90 minutes.
Yeah, they went to like they kind of like went to a 5-4-1 in the end, and then they just camped in, and it's difficult. But I thought we got in some really good areas, and then it was just like, when we get to the byline, the final cut back for the finish. I know Aaron had one, and just some of the crosses at times when they're dropping down, you want someone to go and put it in, and so yeah, it was definitely entertaining, but disappointed because we want to climb up the table. We know what we want to do this year, and we need to get back to winning games of football.
And the fans really helped us push towards that final minutes and help the lads sort of press on.
Yeah, definitely. I just thought from kick-off, they were absolutely outstanding. They were singing, they were cheering, they were chanting, they were driving us on. And I guess you never know what to expect sometimes. When we put the performances we did in against Peterborough at home, we weren't great and we got booed off, and we deserved to get booed off because we weren't fantastic. But that makes the younger lads nervous. So you kind of wonder what the young lad's going to be like coming back home again after the performance we put in. But credit to the fans, they stuck with us. They sang, they chanted, they pushed the lads on, and they give especially the younger lads, they give the young lads that confidence to keep getting on the ball and keep going and keep trying. And what I would say is when they scored, I don't think we had a drop in confidence. I think we just got back into it, got back on again. The fans cheered us on, pushed us on, and the lads were trying to get that equaliser.
And on to a tough game next weekend against Kings Lynn.
It didn't come too tough, does it? Look, we've got a tough run of games, haven't we? We've got Kings Lynn, we've got Chester, we've got Chorley, we've got Spennymoor, so they're going to be tough games. And I know Kings Lynn playing the FA Cup today, so it's going to be a tough game there. I think they're 18 games with us, 17 games, same games as us, so they've got good few games in hand. Obviously, I think they're probably sitting about third in the league now, so it's going to be a really tough place to go. But hey, we back ourselves. If we can play like that every week, then we're going to win more games than we lose.
Perfect. Thanks for your time.
Cheers, thank you.